Is on. Tamie Smith and Baum leave the start box. The best we've seen so far. Third after dressage on 24.2. The world number 8 ranked rider, Tamie. And part of that silver medal winning team at Protoni last year with Lexus, as he's known.
And I think Tamie will definitely be minding that pin when she gets up to the coffin, because I know that caught her out with this horse a few Kentuckys ago, and she is in it to win it this weekend.
Tamie didn't come here last year. She was sort of, you know, the one we missed here last year, but instead went to Badminton and she finished top 10 there, and that really set her up then. She ended up eventual top 10 as an individual, but so very close. Had the show jumping just gone their way a little bit more to being an individual medalist as well as team medalist at Protoni last summer.
Yeah, and this horse just keeps getting better and better every year he comes out.
He just jumped like he was on springs over that.
Well, he is on springs. Have you seen this thing jump? And you see her, this is a little more of an experienced pair. She knows this horse. She stays on the inside line. Keeps him quite direct to that table. Holds him into the line. That was really well done there.
Ward's Classic just been called forward to the start box. Another British rider who will be our next out on course. And here's Tamie. Now she really looks like she's moving.
Like she's
she
going.
comes to Le Chameau.
Really wants to make sure she gets him out in front of her leg. I'm off.
So from three-time Olympian Sandra Ifat to a rider who was up against her last year at the World Championships, Tamie Smith, Baum.
Behind her. Waste no time there.
Over the big open ditch brush. Such a famous feature fence there by the defender driving experience.
You see Lexus just, you know, his gallop step is huge now. Where you saw him in the beginning, he looked a little slow. She was giving him a little time to settle into it. Now he's covering a ton of ground. Just work to get that 3 done in the water. Oh, well done there. Yeah, he landed and he just paused for a second as he landed into the water.
Second last year in the 5-star Lemulus. This is the first time here at Kentucky.
So after they go up a little bit of a climb now to mixed picnic table that's hanging over a downhill slope, then they have another climb up to Pete's Hollow, but they should be looking for 5 minutes on their clock, roughly here on course.
Yeah, and this horse at this point has such a strong base of fitness underneath his belt. He's still looking quite keen and fit.
Olympic show jumping gold medalist Peter Charles. So that was Kirsty, but this is over to Tamie up at Pete's Hollow. This triple of fallen logs on very, very tight angles.
Oh, wow.
And as we get on through the day, especially with the rain coming in, is they're having to go for an incredibly accurate spot of this step up over here on the bank. And they're all going to bring water up onto that spot. Actually, she's not on the spot. She's a little bit further right.
Well, she was thinking about herself. That's what separates everybody. You can't just get around wasting your time and having a little school out there.
11 minutes 20 is the time for Sandra Ifat. So she is tearing inside the time. She stays on her dressage score of 30.9. She was 9th after dressage. How high will that end up carrying her?
See Tamie coming back up the hill, having just a little tap on the shoulder, saying, come on, boy, we got a little more work to do. You got to keep moving.
The Normandy Bank up at the top of this rise here, perhaps a little simpler than it has been in previous years. The step up onto the bank and then these 2 brushes, but actually the second brush is separately numbered, so you don't have to commit to quite a tight thread the needle.
Yeah.
If you want to. Wilson second on 22.6 penalties. Over at the Corgi, Tamie Smith and Baum. And after this, when they turn back to that watercourse to jump the roll top, she needs to be at 10 minutes.
Tamie had to really work
She's
to
at
get
9 minutes 25 now, we're told.
You know, Alexis just looking a little more tired and not quite as cued into what he was doing there. She had to wake him up and kind of pick him up over the fence. Now she looks like she's got his attention back again.
So her 10 minutes, as we reckon it, coming just on the landing side of that. So she is there or thereabouts, but she can't afford to waste any time on the way home. She probably only has 2 or 3 seconds in hand at that minute marker by our reckoning.
Yeah, and she's going to be working for every step. You know, that's where it's so important as a rider to know all your roping and be as ahead as you possibly can early on.
That's number 26 is next for them.
Tamie. 10 minutes 40 we're told, as we're just trying to keep an eye on this US medalist all the way home.
All right, we see her working for it. Trying not to waste any extra seconds to these last chicaners.
Just 20 or so seconds left for Tamie Smith and Baum. She would still be our leader even with a couple of time penalties, but of course we've still to see the two Brits. We've got to see Tom McEwen and Yasmin Ingham.
One more fence to jump. The lucky horseshoe at 28.
11 minutes 20.
Wow.
Lovely jump over the last and through the finish.
Oh, it's incredibly close. We're just going to have to wait and see. We thought Philip Dutton was inside.